got next.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to season 3, episode 10. Let's go of the Street Fighter I Got Next community podcast. It's your host with the most, the Drink Commander himself, Shadow Ace on the ones and twos, and I'll be the moderator for the podcast this evening, joined by my co-host on production, always making sure the vibes are smooth, the mayor of making himself Sir Retro, and of course, as tradition, I want to first thank Sir Retro for agreeing to host a discussion on his platform. So if you're not already following the live broadcast channel on Twitch, hit that follow button to join in on the live shows on Twitch because we do interact with the live listeners in the comments. The reason I've assembled us here today is to get their views and opinions on the Street Fighter scene. Now that Street Fighter 6 has been out for almost a year upcoming, and an opportunity to discuss how you feel about the game and how the scene is dealing with the game. Um, and everyone may hold different views and opinions towards the gaming community in general. So this platform is just an opportunity to, express yourself in a constructive manner, and that's what we do normally here on this podcast. Let's first off, of course, I want to do shout outs to Jetstream Afif from the Ed Discord for the instrumental version of Ed's theme. It does go hard, with the German rap. I'm glad that Capcom paid attention to detail to Ed's roots there, and went in with a German rapper here for his theme. But I do like the instrumental version too as well of the song. So that's what we were using. So shout outs to Jetstream and Fee for providing that from the Ed Discord. But I'll go first. I'll talk about myself. I am an Ed Jamie player in Street Fighter 6. I'm a commentator, podcaster, bracket runner, TL, man of many hats. Here, been playing fighting games competitively for over about 10 years, probably almost up 15 at this point. That's just how long I've been pressing buttons, man, and just playing sets and meeting people and, sharing experiences for all the love of the game. And of course, on production, I did mention Sir Retro, but Sir Retro, how you doing today, sir?
Hey man, I'm doing all right. For those who do know, don't know, not introduce myself. I'm Sir Retro, the second co-host of the I Got Next podcast. In addition, on the Middle of Georgia FGC slash Spite Out Nurse Esports, TO competitor, coach in some cases, and so many other hats I have. But definitely been around maybe a little after Shadoways. Been doing being involved in the FGC for it had been technically over a decade, but as far as like more taking the role of the TO and whatnot, about 7 to 8 years at this point. So definitely, I'm pretty much slowly getting my veteran-ish status. Hopefully I keep be at the legacy status eventually, like Shadow Ace and many others in the FGC here. So thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, I make sure I try to do my best with the editing, trying to upgrade a little bit for the graphics, upgrade a little bit for the for the people and stuff like that. Something a little more productive, a little more sophisticated, a little more professional. We're getting there, but of course, was 3 seasons in and episode 10. I'm excited that we actually have been making this happen for a long time, even though technically it has not felt a long time. But yeah, so yeah, I'm excited. But of course, today, right now, of course, and many of the Street Fighter players, especially, is a fun day because I know what we're going to talk about. So, what we're going to talk about today, Charlies?
Oh man, it's a variety of different things to discuss here and there, for sure. But if you missed out on previous episodes, please check it out on Reboot Retrocades Gaming's YouTube channel for that season playlist of full episodes there. I also have it pinned on my Twitter page at mine of Shadow Ace as well for that link. Uh, Last episode we were talking with Fierce Skittles on episode 9, kind of walk us through how he felt about Street Fighter 6 and why he prefers to continue to play Street Fighter 5 to this day. I will say that his case is special because there's not too many players out there that will go to bat for Street Fighter 5, especially nowadays. But he let us know. He let us know why it meant a lot to him, and I can respect that. So if you want to listen to the full story, go back and check out that episode 9 on Reboot Retrocade Gaming's podcast list on YouTube, and you get to find out firsthand as to why this man enjoys playing some Street Fighter 5. So, but yeah, so Retro, you mentioned about 8 years or so that you've been in on the scene, and I think if you get over 5 years, I think you could get your FT gray hairs if I say
I
so
literally have
myself
some
because
gray
five
hairs.
years you already have to look. I think 5 years is a long
Yeah,
time to be pressing some buttons and playing a lot of matches. So yeah, you definitely have veteran status, sir. Congratulations, you're one of us. One of us. One of us. So
a
yeah, shout out to Shirt Retro man, who is also a fellow veteran. I can say that now. Yes, let's go. But
yeah.
yeah, this is gonna be interesting, man, because this is Capcom Cup weekend. LCQ, a full week
Uh
of
huh.
Street Fighter 6 goodness coming your way, and it all comes down to this, the creme de la creme. After so many events, so many different events, so many different stories that have been told throughout the game's first year, we now get to see someone be $1 million richer next weekend off of playing some Street Fighter 6. So I'm very excited to see the end journey of the results for year one, and year one has been quite interesting. I'll say it's been definitely a roller coaster of emotions about how people feel about the game. If they're going to continue to play the game, do they like the game? Do they think the game is this, that, and the third? So yeah, I'm very very excited to see a culmination of all of that come towards the end of this. But today is the LCQ Last Chance Qualifier Top 16 event here. We were just looking over some of the matches that we're expecting to see. I think believes it starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, our time, 12 Pacific Standard Time over
Right.
there for that. So after this episode, we could just journey over there and check out some of that LCQ action. But I was talking about like the way the groups are formatted here for this event. I know normally we try to do like a mind game before we get started on the podcast panel. But we would try to have a riddle to get the brain juices flowing out. But today we're gonna skip the riddle because the mind games are all at the Capcom Cup LCQ today. The top 16 going down all the way down to the winner, getting that last number 48 spot in Capcom Cup. Even though they are on the loser side, like I was just thinking about my picks on who I'd like to see, man. And oddly enough, all of my picks are coming in from the loser side. The only person, like, I guess the other person I would say is kind of like a lock at this point is kind of Kakaru. Kakaru's JP is just phenomenal, man. If you've never seen him play some JP, you're in for a show, man. Because this a lot of JPs though. There were a lot of JPs in here that made it into the top 16 here. So if you guys, I think it was yesterday when they was doing the pools for the events, there was like 4 JP mirrors back to back, simply because that character is very powerful, man. And if you're not locked in on a good, strong character for this game, especially at the highest level, you're not locked in. You gotta play what's gonna
Mm-hmm.
get you the W. Got to. That's just how it works. I know people like, well, I don't really like this character. This character don't fit with me. But hey, man, these are the characters that are gonna eat. Gonna get you. They're gonna get you some bread at the end of the day. So this is what we're gonna see at Capcom Cup. We're gonna see these characters, especially a lot of them, what Luke's, Kins, DJs. We're gonna see a lot of those characters at Capcom Cup. So it is what it is. So these players, they're trying to cement their spot, cement their legacy. So if I had to go in from like a winner side pick to see who would I'd say I would say Kakaru. I think Kakaru is a lock at this point, just based
Hmm.
on his route on his end. Um, he's the lone JP. Well, no, he's there's someone else using JP too, but I think Kakaru is the one that kind of like is the
Yeah.
dude who
It,
you would look
I,
out for.
okay. I just put up the graphics of the top 16. Shout outs to the partial Cammy stats, and also I have the person's retweeted it, and it's in Japanese. Oh, Toriaka from on Twitter. They made a graphic of the top 16 winners and losers side for today, and you graphic see all the details of the characters, the players, and of course what side are they on. So I'm not sure you can see it yet, but that's what you have. So they give you a view of a better clear view of who's in the top and where they're gonna go once they win their match or whatnot. So
So it's just enough for like from Julio Fuentes. If those who I remember him back in the Street Fighter Five, early Street Fighter Five days, he was part
ooh
of the
yeah,
Holy Kin Trinity. I think it was him, Chris T. I think Brent is cool. I think there was like the three uh Kins that were doing damage back in the day, but I think he took a break from a while. Due to personal reasons, and then now he's back here. Look at him on winner side in the top 16, on the verge of potentially getting into Capcom Cup through a last chance qualifier. So I just only can imagine what his
right,
training regimen must have been like to get to this point. But he's locked in right now. But yeah, I was mentioning that my picks that they were gonna come in from the loser side. Like even though they're on the loser side, I do like Noah. I like Noah. Noah the Prodigy Luke. I need him to lock in for this event. And random, Manon from Germany.
you
Nothing
took him.
random about his Manon though. There's nothing random about his Manon because I don't know if you saw his match versus he was playing a Cammy player and he won the round in like 10 seconds. 5 medals is extremely dangerous, and I think it was on. He had 5 medals, and in 10 seconds he got the dub. I was like, yo,
Bruh, I was
off of 3 sequences. I was
I
like,
don't know.
nah, this is
Yeah, I was in the Georgia chat the whole time watching this. Like I caught most of it after our tournament earlier, and I was hooked because I was watching all the matches. No, Julio Fuentes beating Nemo, that was a good match. Like Julio Fuentes was like on fire with the JP, so that match was crazy being Nemo. Um, Besides the fact it was a mirror, but yeah, random. That was a speed run moment right there, and I was dying laughing because I was like, that's crazy. But that's a character that we haven't seen in a very long time. Well, I'll say a very long time, but as not as much. And that was the
Mhm.
characters like that. Everyone initially was like, "Oh no, this character's too strong." Nerf Manon, she's OP. Blah blah blah. And then
Mhm.
she really didn't show up too much in many top placements. And then lo and behold, Random comes out and just like kind of gave us a little bit of reminder of what Manon can do when she has her way, which was hilarious.
Yeah, and I was looking at who he had to play, right? He has to play like versus arguably the best Lily on the planet at the moment. He like two unique characters, and they have to play each other. You know what I'm saying? And the
Why?
match, like why, what, like why, yeah, why? I would like to see those characters definitely proceed much further, but only one could move on. It's just the art of war here, and the Manon versus Lily matchup is a tug of war. They both of those characters, they just want to hug. So we're gonna see a lot of grabs. We're gonna see a lot of setups into grabs. So that's kind of like one of the matches I really want to watch, for sure. Is the Hibiki going up against Random? Because I mean, again, this is coming for somebody who who used to play Lily, and I was like, Lily just wasn't fitting me, like my style of play, and I kind of just transitioned over to Jamie there. But I do like enjoying watching some high level Lily. So we'll see what happens in that matchup, Lily versus Manon there. But who do you got for your picks for the last chance qualifier?
Zen. I want to see a repeat of making out lose last chance qualifiers again, because that last year, whoo boy, I remember everyone was like, "What?" That when he came in with that bison and gave everybody problems and just ran through the bracket. I've never seen something like that happen before. What crazy run!
Now, now, if he does it again, now if Zen
Uh
manages,
huh.
because if he manages to qualify again in a new game, does that mean he's the goat? Does that mean he is the goat? Shouts to Rob TV. Does that mean he's the goat status? Because you qualified out of two events in
Mm.
two different games back to back. Come on, that's got to mean something. That's got to. But I mean, his work is going to get cut out for him for sure, man. These
Mm.
All of these players are hungry. Of course, you have a higher chance 'cause you're on the winner side because even if you do lose, you still have an opportunity in the loser side. But we'll see what happens. Again, 3 p.m. Eastern our time. We're on East Coast, so that's when the event is going to begin, and we get to catch out those matches and see which one of our picks, can make it in there. So I do want to talk about before we get into the next picks of the groups. I would like to see like the Capcom point system. I remember this kind of being a talk about how,
Mm-hmm.
let's see, was it last year where there was some heat about how some players having to compete in their regions did not go through like a tough bracket compared to others. So the balance of the group pools was a bit pretty obvious that someone could go 0-5 or 1-4. I will say I do not like the seating for this year's Capcom Cup. Granted, it's year one for Street Fighter 6, and of course, there's always room for improvement here because I don't know who let Group F and Group H rock. Um, if you I don't know if you have that graphic up for the Capcom Cup pools, the group draws. They did the seeding, I think about last week. Um, but you have the two-time Capcom Comp champ, man. You got your teammate and your brothers in arms, Kappa. You got the evil champ, Angry Bird, and Ended Walker, who wants to smoke. He said, "Let's fight, ring the bell," which I like because he's not giving up. A lot of people maybe sleeping on the other players that are in that group, but not to sleep on Narrow the Boxer and Lessar as well. But if you know my commentary at events, you've heard me commentate before, I'm a big fan
Mm-hmm.
of underdogs. I do love the underdogs in events. I do. think that those are the players that are like the hungriest to try to prove themselves that they can compete at this particular type of level. So um and it could be Lesser that cooks. Who knows? He qualified just like everyone else. So he earned that spot for a reason. Group H
Yeah.
has both players from South Africa, Jabheem and Ren, and I do think that's whack. That same pool. That's the same pool that also has the last chance qualifier winner in it.
Right,
So
right,
honestly, what I'm saying. So honestly, if you won the last chance qualifier, you have a strong chance of making it in the group just based on so many, matches being played. You've been playing tournament matches for like 3 days straight and winning. Like, how could that not be a safe pick? Capcom Cup group seating wasn't quote unquote random. I felt like it was to like intentionally bring in more viewers. But you know what else could have brought in more viewers? An Akuma trailer or a season 2 preview. But
oh yeah,
it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Next weekend, someone will be $1 million richer just for playing Street Fighter 6. But that's just the nature of the business. Again, it's year one, so of course, there's always room to improve, and hopefully the seating next year will be much better. Um, but Retro, I have to ask you though. Now that we're at the groups draw stage of this, like Retro, if you had to pick two from each group to make it out for the top 16 finals, who would you go for?
okay. Group A.
So let's start off. Let's start off with Group A. Let's Group A.
All right, all right. Let's see. I like Kawano and Morogan. I like those two.
Okay.
Um,
All right. You like? Okay. Okay. Joe. You got. Okay. So I had Kawano as my pick, and I also had Phenom.
mm.
Uh,
Yeah, I can see Phenom as
yeah, as my
possible.
pick.
I
Okay.
thought about
And then
crossover as well.
what's your Group B looking like?
Okay. Definitely. Yeah, Chris Wong and nephew. I like those two. Yeah. I mean,
I
I've
had
major, yeah, major respect to Big
I'm sorry,
Bird,
go ahead.
but yeah.
That's what I had. That's what I had. I had in my Group B, I had nephew and Big Bird. So okay, for the most part, we're about the same picks here and there. And then what's your Group C?
I gotta go for my boy Knuckle Dude. That man has been putting on the work. This should be his comeback again. After a while, and ooh, that's let's see. DCQ is another one. I said Knuckle Dude and DCQ. Mr. Crimson been in my head, but I was like, you know what? I don't know. DCQ looking solid, so yeah.
Huh? Yeah, so I had about the same then for me for my Group C. I had Knuckle Doo, aka Duford, and then for some and I had Dookie
Okay, yeah.
as
Mm-hmm.
well. Yeah, Dookie's pretty solid. No pun intended. No pun intended, yo. But, but I had that as my pick as well. Then what's your Group D? What's the Group D looking like for you?
Oh yeah, ooh. Group D is rough. Okay, F is really rough, but Group D, this is what we gotta think about for a moment. Whew. You know what? As much I give respect because of last year, Takamura, and Valmaster. It was cool seeing Valmaster in action. So I say Takamura and Valmaster. Like NL, Solving, Gachiku, even Mike X. Whew, that's a rough group too. I'd say that's the secondary toughest group for me, personally.
I agree. I fully agree. Outside of just controversial Group F, I think Group D is also one of the more tougher brackets too as well. Because I had a toss up. Because I don't know, man. I had Takamura, Valmaster, and Gachiku.
Hmm.
Um, So those are like, I mean, only two can make it out, which is the wild
Right.
part. So this is just gonna be like a war. This is gonna be like a war because I think even if you do make it out in the top 16, I think there's a payout, right, for top 16, or it was only just for top 8.
No, this top 16 payout.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So that's rough in comparison to other groups. Respectfully, like again, we were saying about how the draws were going and the seeding. So maybe that'll change next year. But as far as the groups go, yeah, it's definitely a rough road. And then, so what about your group E?
For E, Snake Eyes. No, I want Snake Eyes, but then I'm I like Fudo more than Shin. I'm sorry. Ah, my DJs. Why? Fuda. No, I love Fuda. Like the thing is, I was just, like I try to model my DJ a little more after Fuda lately, and I watched how he played and I love it. And Snake Eyes, I just want to see Zangief in the finals. I just want to see Zangief. He after all the struggle he's been through since the day one of this game, as much the mechanics should have helped him better. I want to see a Zangief. And I like Snake Eyes. So Snake Eyes and Fudo. Shien would have been my
Yeah,
would if Fudo wasn't there, then it would be Shien.
yeah. I mean, I think his he got definitely has his work cut out for him. Uh, for sure, man. With Group E being Snake Eyes, all eyes are on Snake Eyes because this is doing. I mean, he's about to go through the gauntlet, the DJ gauntlet, the damn near unthinkable and unfathomable because he qualified. What I'm saying, with Geef, and his qualification match was against a Jay Clee player, which I imagine that matchup is pretty bad for Geef. So I think he
Mm-hmm.
has a shot. Because when you think about it, like how many Geefs are really playing at that level where you're using every tool the character has to make it work. But he has, I believe, three DJs in his pool, so we know that DJ how strong that character can be. We know how hard
Mm-hmm.
that character can hit. So you see it in the intro video. You saw how much damage that character outputted so Retro was doing the combo with the character, so that character hits hard. And then you got Jen and Fudo in that group too as well. So I don't I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I mean, then you think about it like this: like how much Geef experience do those DJ players has, or doesn't matter which character it is? At the end of the day, it's still DJ. DJ ain't worried about much. He's not worried about who he has to play. It's just that whoever he has to play, they getting caught in the rhythm. Is that what it is? They're not worried about matchups like that.
For me as a DJ main, I don't think. I just do. And I got my drive rush, and I'm good.
So, I got my drive rush and I'm good is wild, yo. Okay, I respect it. I respect it. You recognize what your character is, and he's like, yo, I got drive rush, bro. I got drive rush. Easily one of the best in the game for sure. So I may use it while it lasts, right? Until if it gets changed in season 2, we'll see. But for right now, you want to use every tool in your arsenal to get the dub. And at this moment, having to play against three different DJs as Geef, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it could be either a good thing or a bad thing. Because again, you have to think about the matchup experience that the players have, right? Do they have the knowledge of fighting a Geef that plays at Snake Eyes level? Do they have and if they don't have it, they could be in trouble because Geef can put you in instances where he can kind of like keep you caged into the corner. He can do that. That's a character that has that,
Right.
and because he has more health, he's willing to take a hit just to get close to you, and then it's time to guess from there.
Oh,
So we'll see
for
how it
sure.
works out. I think that'll be a more. I think that'll be definitely a more interesting block to check out for matches too. Well, then of course.
Here we go.
Then of course we got the legendary Group F. Legendary Group F, bro. I mean, I know you've seen this group get memed and talked about so much, but again, only two can make it out. So who you got, yo? Who you got, man?
Here,
Retro.
it's gonna be funny. Nero the Boxer and Ending Walker. I, yep,
Whoa,
I'm gonna
whoa,
disagree.
what?
This is gonna be a rough bet. Yeah.
You gotta explain that one to me. You gotta explain that one. What is? Huh?
Now,
I need the origin story. What's there? You got Nero the Boxer and Ending Walker. All right.
I'm going.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm with
I,
it.
I,
I'm
I
with it.
want to see the tables turn on this because yes, Menard is very strong. Kaba very strong. Angry Bird very strong. And you have these other three that no, and then Walker's very strong too. And the Walker last year made Ed work, put him to work. And this dude's still what 17 now, 16, 17 years old.
He's like 19 now.
19,
He's
yeah.
older.
He's not. Yeah, I was about to say he didn't even touch 20 yet, regardless, and putting his work. So to see, uh, and then using Ryu of all characters is very interesting. I just want, if anything, this is probably the biggest chance to see a potential upset, or not upset. Well, maybe upset in a sense, but like a little dark horse thing moment. I mean, it's risky for me to make it to bet on this, but yes, I would like to see some changes. As for Nero the Boxer, because I'm not mistaken, he plays DJ as well.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, he originally, I believe, played Balrog in Street Fighter. So yeah, that makes sense that transition over to DJ. But definitely, I would like to see him. I'm gonna root for the underdogs, one of the underdogs in this case. Because the thing is that for fighting against, let's see, for Menardi, either his own countrymen, fellow countrymen, or Angry Birds going to like, or both would probably like beat him. Could potentially like beat him. But the thing is that I don't know. With that happening, with all the really strong players that could potentially beat him, that really can change around. Like you may only have end up one of the three or four strong players to make it out compared to the others. So it pretty much give people a chance. It's basically like having Michael Jordan, LeBron James, um, oof, Bill Russell,
I
AI.
yeah,
Yeah,
I saw those. I saw those comparison pics. They did an anime one with like Goku,
yeah.
Naruto, like final forms and stuff like that, all in
Yep.
one pool and stuff. And I'm like, in a way, it kind of makes sense. But I think your picks are pretty interesting. You know, again, yeah, Enden Walker is using Ryu. He said that he will take a look at Ed, for sure, and I only could expect great things from him once he touches Ed. So we will definitely. I think that's definitely an interesting pick for you. That you have Nero, the boxer, and then Walker as your two to make
I
it out of
mean,
that
to be to
quote
be
unquote death bracket.
now to be fair, last year because it happened, and I actually bet on it when we had the is it Kapachimu or the Alex player that was like got everybody like
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. The Alex player that was like, yo, what? Who is this dude? Like, what's
yep.
going on? How is this Alex player winning? You know, I do remember that. Yep.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I know the meta is pretty much set in stone already as of now, since the game had not really changed much. But I think I don't know, that moment can happen. That obviously I hope. But yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
how.
anything can happen. You know, and I think that's the most exciting thing about that. is that you're whatever you pick or whomever bets or decides, they make their guesses. It could go completely the opposite way. I mean, on mine's, I mean, I have a safe bet for Men and Angry Bird. You have these players
Hmm.
have they've been through the trenches. Just imagine, just think about it. You're not voting for the Capcom and Evil Champion. That sounds wild. Like you would think that's a safe bet. Like why wouldn't you pick the Capcom and Evil champions to make it out of the pool? But Ender Walker and others, they say no blood on me, and they want to fight. They
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
fight. So they say all right, memes aside, y'all think y'all sleeping on me? Y'all think we not gonna do nothing, or y'all looking down on us? Y'all not forgetting that we in the same pool? Said
Hmm.
you're not trapped in here. He said, I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. So he has that hungry mentality. So we'll see how far that's gonna get him for sure in there. So definitely Group F is gonna definitely will be one of the blocks to check out for sure. Um and it's interesting because in Group G, right? The group next to Group
Right.
F was the group that kept getting compared to Group F in terms of like balance. Um, and it's like, well, who are these guys in Group F? Nobody knows who they are, and this is an easy pool. This, and this, and I'm like, ah, dang, that why? It's a wild statement to say. I mean, everybody that earned it, they earned their spot. But I say that if I had to make a guess, because this is probably like one of the pools that I was the most uncertain of here, but I'll say Rain Pro and was it? I probably mispronounced it. Julio Ross. Julino Ross. Those would have been based on what I saw from their matches. But then again, you can't sleep on no one, right? You can't sleep on no one.
Right.
So who would you get in your group F?
I'm, yeah, I'm double
I mean,
checking the characters that they use. Hmm. What character? Uma 2, 3 through
I mean
7.
Group D. My bad. I mean Group G. Group G.
Group G. Wait, what character is using? I was trying to figure out the background of some of the characters because they're kind of. Oh, that's a jury. Okay, I see. Who? See, a jury, a Ken, a Luke. And then Garnet is from where? Da, da, da. Okay, so ROF is JP. The other thing too, like um, I should pay attention to more Oceania, especially the Australian, because y'all have one of y'all guys from Atlanta to go um to the last chance qualifier. Shout out to Anton Leo and Sammy. And the things that I researched some of the players in their pool, and the and I happened to end up watching one of the Australian matches players.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, they're strong for a reason.
Okay.
But I think for the sake of it, you said Rain Pro and Junior Ross. I would think those two as well. Well, I might go with. I'm trying to find Garnett's character because if you remember using Garnett,
I remember
Garnet.
Julian Roswell played. He played boxer in Street Fighter Five.
Right, he plays
So
on
yeah, he's
Luke.
already a strong contender. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good pick. I mean, that's a good pick going from boxer to Luke.
yeah.
So that's kind of like a more
I
safer bet. So
I can say if plays Ken, I can see him making it out. I've seen a bit of his matches over the years, over time. Huh. I can't find where Garnett is. They don't have his. I'm looking at the last chance qualifier stuff, but or the qualifier people. But I'm probably gonna go with Garn. I'll go Garnett just to see what he pick, and then and safe or
hey,
safe.
Garnett and safe.
Oh, oh, Garnett. No. Okay, there is. Garnett plays Dawson. Oh, okay, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, that's definitely an interesting character choice. Some Dawson. I think Dawson is definitely in a weird state in this game. I feel last what in Street Fighter Five. Of course, during the first few seasons, Dawson wasn't out there, but I guess towards the end of the season, people started to realize, oh dang, you could do a rush down Dawson. And in this game, it's like he isn't too common of a character, but I don't think people are at the
Right.
state where like they're worried if they have to fight a Dawson like that. Simply because their game plan is just to rush him down. I got drive gauge, so he's gonna be forced to hold my pressure or whatever I'm gonna do. So they're not too worried about fighting against a Dawson, but Dawson can definitely clip people if they're not ready to for sure. So we'll see how that goes. So the next group, I was looking at what Group H. So interesting thing about this one is like I see a Kusanagi in this group, right? But unless they're two different people, there was a Kusanagi that played in the Last Chance qualifier. Is that the same person?
Huh. Hold on.
It can't be. It can't be. Nah, I mean, there's no way. Okay, okay, so it's two different people, right? But they both can't be named Kusanagi.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that right?
Hold on. Okay. Wait. 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 Could last chance qualifiers? Can the qualifier players play in the last chance qualifiers?
Oh, they shouldn't be able to. I don't think
Okay.
they should be. I don't think they can. I mean, if it is, then how the hell is that allowed? It can't be. I think they may be two different Kusanagis,
Wait. I did see.
but I can't 100% confirm that though.
Wait. Cause I researched for Ultimate Leo because he was in that pool, and I'm mistaken. That looked him up. That is, huh? Okay, let me check right quick. That is something that I did not
Uh,
expect. Think about. I can because things you can pull up right quick and then just like see where he's from.
I mean, I know there's a Kusanagi that's in like Mexico.
Yeah, I see it. Oh, this one. Oh, okay.
Because
This is a
I
Kusanagi from
don't know.
France.
Okay, okay. So there is two different people then. That's the case.
Yeah, yeah. He's from France, and I don't think he made it out for. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he didn't make that. Okay.
yeah, obviously he didn't make it out, but yeah, I'm about to say, yeah.
I was like, nah. I was like, bro, what? How's that possible? But for Group G, I would say I got I'll say Japan, and I'll say the last chance qualifier winner. So I know people are sleeping on my dude Japan. You know what I'm saying? The fact that last year he qualified for Capcom Cup, and this year he qualified again
Yeah.
shows that he has heart. But again, I pointed out the issue earlier, or say that he has his fellow countrymen in the same pool, same bracket as him, which I don't think that should be the case. Like, because they're both of those players are from South Africa, Ren in Japan, but they should not
Mm-hmm.
be in the same bracket. That's not right. Um, but he's using like I think last year he was using Karine in Street Fighter Five, and but that was in her nerf state.
I
She
remember
she
that. Yeah, I
wasn't as
remember
strong
that.
as she used to be. Yeah, but he got DJ this time. He got DJ on his side.
Hey.
He's unlocking the full power and potential of the character. But again, unfortunately, he does have his fellow countrymen in his same pool, which is weird. But at the end of the day, only two can make it out. But I do think that the Let Trans qualifier has a strong chance of making it out of that bracket. Just because how consistent they had to be over the last past 3 days just to make it out and qualify. So, what about you? What do you think?
I'll say dual Kevin and last chance qualifier winner, which I think will be Zen.
I mean, if that happens again, then yeah, he's a part of a legend. He made it out of last chance qualifier in 2 games, 2 different games. Come on, dog. This man's a cheat code. There's got to be a cheat code something he activated to get this. Like going Street Fighter Five and Street Fighter Six, and you made it out of both Last Chance qualifiers. Nah, that's something he knows something everybody else don't know. But yeah, yeah, those were kind of like our picks on how we think it's gonna go down, especially for the Last Chance qualifier. Again, that's today later on. Um, we'll be checking that out for sure. So I cannot wait on that. And I know it's been a few weeks since they did the Evo 2024. Um, they did the games. They made the announcement for the games on there, and one of the central focuses was on the 3 day pass. The 3 day pass. It wasn't the fact that Third Strike got announced as one of the retro games.
All
I think
right.
it was
Oh yeah.
I think it was the 3 day pass price that kind of people were like looking at and going, "What?" But we could talk about that though. We could definitely talk about that. I think the 3 day pass was like for $200. Like, wasn't it like 160 or 180 last year?
Yep. Yeah. But the thing. Yeah. So the thing about it. Let me see if I can find a picture and post it up. Yeah. But they were like, excuse me. Yeah. I found it. I found it. Yeah, $203 with well, if you consider fees and taxes, but $203 I think, 83
Uh-huh.
cents. And but the thing is, like I said, it covers the Sunday final stuff, so you don't have to worry about paying extra for that. Thankfully,
Hmm.
it's just that
Oh, okay. So it's not a separate thing from the arena like it
no,
was for
no,
EVO,
they no,
right?
they. So it's all together this time. So basically, yeah, they that was the thing about it. So in order
Yeah,
for that to be possible, where people don't have to pay like 60, 80 plus dollars for a separate arena for the finals, it now is all it's on the same package.
that's pretty good then. If that's the case. 'Cause I remember that was one of the things people were looking at was you had to pay a separate ticket just to get into the arena for the finals, and then I think on top of that, those tickets sold out too as well. So that was another thing. If you couldn't get in, you
Yep.
couldn't watch the finals because you couldn't get into the venue. And I guess now apparently this new format it is 200 and change, but you did get access to watch the finals now. And I think and I did see the Vegas entertainment tax, which was pretty interesting because it seems like the pricing for the events appear to be rising. I know Evo is only once a year, so it's not like people don't have a whole year to try to save in advance.
Technically,
But
twice if you count
shout
Japan.
Oh yeah, twice. Yeah, technically, if you wanted to go to Japan to go to that event too, as well. But shouts to Third Strike for making the retro game this year. I think for being this year, maybe 2025 we could have Ultra Street Fighter 4, but could be there. But who knows? But I think the year before that was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I'm honestly surprised the Killer Instinct didn't make the cut because they just got a balance patch and like a rollback update a few months ago. Under Night ended up getting in over it, and I thought DNF would make it over Under Night. I thought that could have been a thing because wasn't that like one of the new hot staples in the scene was just DNF duel, and I don't know what happened to that scene and community. I don't think that kind of just disappeared too. Um, yeah, yeah. I was saying, talking about the prices for the being at 200. So I think traveling and budgeting is like very important to consider. Like we are planning to attend an event. I always think respectfully, if you do a shock face at the price, then attending a tournament like that shouldn't be on the top of your priority list. You got to say those funds be. And besides, isn't like the complaint at some tournaments like the payout just isn't enough. But if you raise those prices, it should be enough. Like it's like an investment in your success, right? If you're gonna win, you get it back plus more. But I guess that's a topic of another day, right? about raising prices on
Right.
on venue fees and stuff, and then people saying the payout ain't enough. We raise the prices, and now people are complaining that the prices are too high. So it's like, what do you do as a T? What do you do as a TO? What do you do as a TO? But what do you think about that retro, like the Evo package pricing? And I think that's just for like the pass, right? I don't think that includes the game. Like, how much are the games to sign up for? Is it 10 or like 20?
No, they've been 10 for a while still. I
Okay,
was
still
actually
10.
double checking on that too. I was wondering like if the price for the games has changed. So it's just more the venue fees in general that changed
Okay.
because it's been $10 for the past couple years. Because I was trying to register, just like look at the registration, see how it process. But yep, it's still $10.
But then, like, as far as the lineup goes, the games, was there anything in particular you were interested in watching for Evo for that?
Yeah, I'm actually interested in seeing. Oh man, there's so much. I mean, all the games are pretty much predicted. Well, cause we did a bingo on it, but yeah, I'm Tekken 8 for sure. Street Fighter 6, Third Strike, definitely. I'm interested in how people are going to react to Third Strike and see how those who love Third Strike, and they claim to love Third Strike, and see how that turns out. Because a lot of people said that once Third Strike comes out, once you see the top eight, it's gonna be Chun Li's, it'll be Yuns and Kens. It'll be the same low forward into supers. You don't see that same cycle. You won't see, may not
Hey,
see a Hugo. You may not see a 12 or Necro.
oh no, oh god, oh gosh, no, no, no,
Yep.
absolutely not. I think that's kind of like what's going on for six, right? You might not see these
Mm-hmm.
characters. You're definitely not gonna see these characters at that particular level, especially at the highest of degree.
Right.
But I think the difference is they have a better chance of making it versus how in Third Strike where everything is like cut and paste and dry. Like, you know that there's gonna be a Chun, you know that there's gonna be a Ken, a Yoon. You know what I'm saying? You know those characters are going to appear, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Just because of how strong and how the engine works in that game. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, if people want that third strike goodness, better pick one of them characters.
Mm-hmm.
You better pick you better pick Chun, Ken, or Yun. Otherwise, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're not seeing no Remy. You're not seeing no 12, no Buki. You know what I'm saying? There's not gonna be that one dynamic Akuma player coming out of nowhere just beating everybody.
You
Just
see a
ain't. It's
pocket of
just
Kuma
not.
problem.
You might see a pocket Akuma. Somebody picking up bring out the pocket Akuma. That's likely. Urian too as well.
Oh yeah,
But I
Urine.
think
I forgot.
yeah.
Urine would be definitely yeah. That-
Yeah, so that's kind of like where that's what you're going to be seeing set in stone. And I think that was like one of the things last year during the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 finals where people was like kind of like getting snoring. I don't know if anybody was booing. I don't think there was booing, but I think the reactions were like pretty dry in regards to the finals because there was like a lot of zero loops going on, and
Morgan.
people, yeah, Morgan, and people were kind of like tuning out a little bit, or oh, this is boring,
Yep.
stuff like that. Well, I mean, these are how those games were. This is exactly how those games work. And if you want to win, you got to pick what works. So, hey, whomever is that whomever is that miracle 12 player, whoever you are, you might have to think about something else. You might
Oh
have to
sorry.
think about something else. 'Cause that's not
Repeat.
gonna work.
Repeat that again. Sorry,
No,
something came up.
no, no. I was just saying, whomever if they trying to bring out like a Miracle 12 or something like that, and it's supposed to be like the world's best 12 player or something, it ain't gonna work, yo. It ain't happening, Captain.
Oh
You got to bring
yeah.
out that Chun. You got to bring out that Yun, or you got to bring out that Ken. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Oh
That's the game that you know is set
look,
in stone.
Look, I would love to see Hugo as a Hugo player. I love to see Hugo. I would love to see anyone. And like I said, at the most, I'll be okay to see even Dudley or Jurgen outside of the Trinity. I'll be okay with that.
I would. The variety would be nice. I mean, Dudley is definitely a strong chance.
Oh,
Definitely a
Makoto.
character with a
Yes,
strong
no,
case.
we gotta have Makoto.
Yep, Makoto too as well. So you have what you have is you have your top tier, and then you have the characters that can kind of can fight the top tiers. But at the end of the day, they're gonna be still, they'll still get outshined. But those characters can definitely fight, for sure. But we'll see how it goes for Third Strike, man. But shouts to Third Strike, congratulations. It would be nice to see all the older Third Strike players come out one more time to represent and compete and before they go back into retirement,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I would like to see this.
well, what throwback game would you want to see if it was up to you to pick?
See, my pick is, I mean, outside of the obvious with Ultra Street Fighter 4, I mean, because they did it as a community side game. They didn't do it as a main game.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
if I had to do like a side game, I would want to say Bloody Roar because
Yes.
because I had a dream, I had a dream that they did Bloody Roar, and then after the finals, they did a trailer for a brand new one, and I lost my mind. And then I woke up, and then I realized it was a dream. Then I got sad. That was it. But but that would have been my pick. That would have been my pick for one of my retro games if that was the case. Then how about you?
I mean, Third Strike was basically my pick in my head. The other game I thought was going to come back was probably Marvel 2, but I think that might be next year unless they decide to go somewhere that's not Capcom.
Hmm. Huh? All right, interesting, interesting. But yeah, they did the announcements. Shouts to the Chipotle. They did all those memes and stuff. So, Evo is going to be very interesting this year because there's going to be a lot of information going on. We got the next era of fighting games with Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6 out now. Grand Blue just got a new game that just came out too. So, um, good time to be a fighting game player, man. The Renaissance is still booming here for games. So,
Yep,
um,
new era.
all right, all right. So next up, we're gonna go over the Ed gameplay breakdown. Ed was the character that I have been waiting for a very, very, very long time, for sure. 7 months and change, and then he comes out next week. He comes out next week, so it's like we finally here, yo. We finally reached the mecca here for a character that I can try to use. Um, and interesting enough, when they were like showing off his character select screen, he's described as a tricky and hard character to use. But you know who else has that description too? Jamie. Jamie. Which is why I picked him up. Now I was practicing using, I bet it was Monitoring, which is even a worse version of an already bad character. I managed to, hit master and over,
Hmm.
15 AMR with him. So I was preparing for this moment. I mean, Ed looks
Oh yeah.
great. He looks great. I mean, his kit translated very well from Street Fighter 5 to Street Fighter 6 by making him a pure boxer and no kicks. That's a complete redesign of the
Yeah, that
character,
is
you
a
know.
design.
Yeah, so that makes it that sets the blueprint for what future characters are going to be like in the game. Because they're not going to just be copy and paste from Street Fighter 5 onto Street Fighter 6. They're going to get a redesign in their toolkit that kind of makes them play completely different. Sheed and Ed, they're the heralds of that. Akuma, sky's the limit what they can do with Akuma. So if they bring back if they bring back say they decide to bring back Adon, say they decide to bring back Cody or something like that. We know that they're not going to play exactly how they did in older versions because the core of the character is going to be there, but they're just going to change them. They'll change their moves and sets. They may even
Yeah.
have target combos, command
Mm-hmm.
grabs. The sky is the limit of what they could do with him. And I was honestly was not expecting him to be a pure boxer. I
Yeah.
expected him to have boxing moves, but I did not think they was going to take away his kicks.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I just need to lab the character because I mean, I could theory craft all day about how he's going to be,
mm-hmm.
but it'll take some time to get used to the new Ed. And
Well,
I'm excited that a lot of people are interested in picking him up.
yeah.
But
Well,
what was you gonna say?
yeah, I'll ask you this then, since you're look forward to the most. For what, judging from the gameplay video and everything about it, what do you think you're excited most about him that you love to see? That you'd be happy to try out or play with.
Yeah, I'm glad that he has I'm glad that he has Snatcher because that's kind of how I revolved around my gameplay on there. I liked to have the frames to get, I like getting my plus frames and then turning it into a guess afterwards. Because there's a couple of options I can go with. I could get the normal. I can get a normal, and you try to tech or something, you get counter hit it, and that's even more damage. I could neutral jump. You try to grab. It's I could backdash. You try to grab. So it's like you create a 50-50 just off of snatcher. But I need to test that move a bit more because it doesn't work the same as it does in 5, where it's just a direct move. You have to actually like he doesn't have the tap version that he did in 5. You have to actually hold it like during the stance in order for him to do it now. So I think once I can get used to that and just like get used to like using his fireball and how his level 2 is going to work because it's different now. So in 5, of course, his level 2 was his V trigger, and because I don't have super like add on extended pressure after that. There's no I have to figure out how to create a threat. Like maybe during like close to burnout, I could probably like do something. Um maybe force well no, first force the burnout, put you in stun and do a combo into level 1 to close out the round. That's what I'm thinking so far. So I'm already running through scenarios in my head, but again, he comes out next week, so there'll be plenty of time to lab and things of that nature. But I'm excited to see who's actually going to stick with the
Right.
character. So I've seen a lot of people saying they're going to play him. And again, his style is described as tricky and hard. He's not going to be an easy character to pick up. They let you know off rip. He's not going to be an easy character to use. So I've given a month. You know, I give it a month before they go back to their Lukes and Kens. Oh they realize, oh, I can't take 30 to 40% off meterless off of one button anymore. We out, we out, we out. But yeah, what was you gonna say?
And I was just kind of agreeing a lot with what you're saying. In my perspective too, the funny thing about it, I'm almost getting pushed to pick them up because I used to like to play boxer characters like Dudley and a little bit Balrog, and then like in Tekken, Steve Fox and whatnot. Because I was like, I wondering about the idea that where he gonna have kicks, and I know he kind of like modeled himself a lot after Balrog mostly. So, and I wonder if he's gonna use a little more psychic powers in general too. And then that was my theory. Um, but I like how he kind of like confused it where he fused it where he using a lot more techniques of like not trying to rely too much on the power except for certain circumstances, or at least enhance his boxing techniques and whatnot. Which I really do like it. The concept from what I think I saw. I'm
Yeah,
excited for it because I think his juggle game will be fun. He because the playstyle reminds me of Steve Fox from Street Fighter Cross Tekken and Yamazaki from the KOF series. Cause especially with the flickers, and that was the big thing. I'm like, thing that makes it a little tricky because you got to figure out which, like even for the learning curve, yeah, like I said, I said earlier, like which button to use for what circumstance if your opponent's going to jump, if he's not going to, if they're going to stand up or they're going to go low, whatever. So it's like you got to guess with which button for which each scenario. Similar to how Aki does it. Is basically you have certain buttons for certain directions and everything, and the wrong guess could be a big damage for either for your opponent or whatnot. So definitely. I think I think it's gonna be really fun. I'm curious to see how many of our Ed players, like besides you, and especially Andy Walker, will definitely use their character. And like I said, got the V Trigger one back. It's now level 2. Of course, who the best one of the best V triggers in Street Fighter Five. So that's gonna be a problem. Then the sway situation where the ducking scenarios, that's going to be crazy. I think yeah. The trickiness will be his movement too. Um, I'm the character look kind of flashy but really I think it'd be really fun to deal with. Um, I'm curious about the weaknesses as a result. You know, I mean, now the character has what the deflect their fireball situations. I wonder if zoners are who doesn't necessarily have to use fireballs will give them a problem of like getting in, like full screen giveaways. With JP will be a problem still for Ed, or what Ed will
Yes,
no, yeah.
I think it'll be I think it'd be like a vice versa situation where
Mm-hmm.
like natural zoners can kind of give Ed that trouble, but he does have Spark to like kind of negate some of the projectiles. But
Right.
I do feel like JP is going to be a problem for Ed. I do think Sim is going to be a problem for Ed. Natural keep away characters that kind of rely on zoning spacing, like Guile.
Mm.
I know Guile was an issue
Right.
for
Oh
Ed
yeah,
back in
got
Street
that.
Fighter
Yeah,
Five.
wow. This. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so he'll probably, still have that same grounded mentality where, he has to work in the booms to, then of course, hip is a thing too as well in this game. So he can, Ed has to be forced to take a step or he has to react in certain situations or he's going to get burned out. So that's another thing. So I think it's designed, I think the way they have it is they're designing it to be more this mobile pressure rush down type of character because he can't sit still. If he sits still, then he loses. Like he has to
Mm-hmm.
always be trying to do something. He
Right.
always has to be trying to feint and move around. And I think that's where the hard part comes in with using that character. Because if you can't play this character like a defensive shell. He has to go in there and box and do something. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. If you look at what they did with Rashid, how they enhanced and played more into the personality of the character while still keeping his moves there. So that also, since they're both Street Fighter Five characters, that can only, I can only imagine what Akuma is going to be like, right? It's already written that he's going to be strong. Like you can't look at his design in Street Fighter Six and oh, that's a mid tier character. They might give him an air teleport. I know a lot of people were talking about memeing about like Drive Rush Demon Flip, one button Raging Demon in modern mode. Like there's a lot of moves that they could pull from the history of the character from different games. But my only question, like, so far, is will he have normal health though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
if he gets all of that to his kit, and he has normal health, that's auto top tier. He's automatically going to be ridiculous. They would have to bring back like health values for the rest of the cast. I know the heavy characters, what Geef, Marissa, Honda, I think they have the higher health. But I'm talking about Universal, where I guess the female characters only had like 900 or something, but
Right.
give
Right.
them give them a little bit more tools and options to compensate for that. Maybe increase the walk speed or backdash or something like that to make up for it. But if Akuma comes out with normal health, he'll be auto top tier, hands down. He'll be auto strong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they give him an air fireball, it's over. They give him demon flip, it's over. It's just that his kit works so good in other games. It's just that the only thing that kind of held him in check was that he had lower health. And if you're gonna put him in a game like this, where pressure is kind of king, and it kind of rewards more offensive based play styles, yeah, yeah, that's a strong character. That's a strong character. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for Ed next week. I can't wait to play him.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, the next character after that is Akuma, and then after Akuma, we get the season two. So who knows who's gonna make it into season two? But season one has been interesting. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of long wait times for characters and the content, the lack of content and stuff like that. How they kind of like cater into the Avatar community with costumes and all this. But I think it's just a part of the journey, man. I think it's a part of the journey. I say let it rock for right now. I mean, there's other fighting games out there you could try to get your hand at, or there's other games out there that you try to play in the meantime until things pick up. I say, yeah, let it rock, man. If they want to do 1,000 Avatar costumes, let them do 1,000 Avatar costumes, man. At least they're coming out with something, you know. They're trying to appease to something. So I think Ed will keep people busy for a while until Akuma comes out, and we'll just kind of go from there. So yeah, yeah. So what do you think, Retro? How do you think Akuma's gonna play out? How Akuma?
Hmm. I'm trying to think how he changed over the course of history since I say Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5. I mean, I'm also trying to think about the lore too, because that plays a role in like his play style and the way he looks. As far as I know, Akuma is always trying to find something unique and new to harness in some type of way with his powers or whatnot. Excuse me. And I wonder, huh? Because then you meet him as an avatar. I don't know. I'm digging a little deep into it, but that's the thing. I wonder if you actually, because your avatar will learn from it. He'll learn Sasuke Hado and all that stuff. So I know that's going to come back for sure. I wonder because everything takes place at the third strike, and Akuma been training like so ridiculously. I think it's going to be where he'll have some unique energy moves, and I think with him having that, it's a lot more power. I think he'll be a little more trickery compared to the other Shotos. He'll have a lot more mix-up situations. I'll, huh. My idea is that he might have the evil Ryu was the axe kick or the no the that stomp. He might have that. He might of course the demon situation, the demon flip scenario. I think that's going to come back for sure, no doubt. Um, I think he'll have more air combos. I think that's going to be a fun thing to do. Fun thing from the half air combos.
That would be super unique. Yeah, for him to have air combos. Okay, I like that. All right.
Because like the idea was the V Trigger 2 or I think it was one, yeah, 2 when they enhanced his like he can combo in the air and combo from his stuff and he has the EX when I was trying to remember, yeah. In his V Trigger 2 I think or V Trigger 1. Well basically like he can do a little bit of combos and then he can cancel into like his hurricane kick or whatever. Like it was from Shoryu to her hurricane kicks like that. I think he'll have those type of combos that come back from 5. But like yeah.
So it'll
Yeah.
be like an install. Like he gets like
Right. I think
he
like
gets
level
street.
2. I'm betting one of the V triggers will be level 2. Because that's kind of almost the case for many of the other characters, like Guile, Ed apparently, and a few others that have some of those V triggers are now gonna be their supers. Level 3 is gonna be a nasty one. It's gonna do a lot of damage, but he gonna have technically three or yeah, because I think the Sasuke Hado is going to be his like the unique super level 3, and then like he'll have a unique level 3, no, a main or normal level, no, level 3 whatever. But then again, because in Third Strike he had actually two unique supers outside of his others. He had the energy one that pounds the ground, and then of course the Sasuke Hado. So I wonder if that's going to happen too. So he's gonna have a lot of tools. Like I think he's gonna have a lot of tools and a lot of the damaging tools. But I think his health will be probably slightly lower in as a result. I don't think it'll be too low, but it'll be low enough where he doesn't like he not glass cannon all the way, but enough where if you do if you whiff whatever, like he basically be at least 40 to 30% health left, and he'll have like two guesses to like get out of the situation, and then he's done. Versus someone who may have two, no, three guesses or whatever in the situation. So I don't think like he'll be fully glass cannon, but I think he'll be just slightly nerfed health wise as a result. That's my
Like
idea of concept.
slightly lower health.
Yeah, probably like because I'm trying to think. I forgot the value. Is like everyone like what 10,000 or 11,000 something like that.
Yeah, ten
He
thousand.
so he probably might be at 9,000 or 8,500 at the least.
I can, yeah. I think that would have to be the case if they decide to give him that ridiculous kit. Because I mean, again, you look at his design and like
Hmm.
man, that's not mid tier.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
not a mid tier design.
and
I'm
from the
sorry.
lore, yeah, right. And from the lore is like he's like always do like last in the third strike he hurricane the hell out of a hurricane kicked the hell out of a submarine underwater. I mean that's like basically surpassing the level that he's at from the previous iterations, and this is take place in the future now at the third strike. So who and then he has much more hair. He looks more unleashed. So it's like
Yeah,
he gonna do a lot of damage.
yeah. He kind of like looks a little bit like Oni, right? Like minus the the purple
I,
skin or
I'm
whatever.
I
But
was
like the way
wondering if the
he,
ooh
yeah,
ooh
yeah, because he has his like hair fully out now. Like it's
right
white, full white,
like
and
white Mufasa.
it's like, he's like, I'm just letting loose, bro. This is it. Like the final form. Like Akuma, we always know Akuma had red hair, since back in the day. But now it's like he reached a level where it's like it's just new form. This is like his new form. So it just screams like a redesign. It screams like they're going to do something really crazy with the character. And it's gonna be a lot of people are gonna be excited to play him just because just because of that, right? People like, oh, get Ed out of the way, Ed's out the way, he's get released, da da da. Now we waiting for the main event. We're waiting for the star of season one. We need to know why we waited 8, 9 months just for Akuma to come out. Why wasn't Akuma one of the first characters? Why they take so long to make him appear? And then somebody was like, well, they just needed extra time to like try to. The reason why Akuma is the last one because they trying to figure out how to make him normal. They're trying to figure out how to balance him to make him uh at a normal competitive level. So um yeah, I think a lot of people are really excited for Akuma just because they want to see what they're going to do with that character too as well. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we're only a few months away there from him, and we'll get the season two right after that. So things are looking on the up and up here. But yeah, yeah, I'm excited to try out Ed next week. For sure. I'll try to go through the trenches because this is coming from somebody who played vanilla Street Fighter Five Ed, which was the worst character in the game. Free. Hands down. Like I don't even think the character was tested when they
Mm-mm.
released him. and it took them so long to like finally fix him. And the only thing they really had to do was just like some quality of life changes to make him a more balanced character. And once they did that, you saw how strong he was towards the end of Street Fighter V's life cycle. So again, I stuck with the character ever since the creation. I just remember the days where I would just do low forward into upper and try to do super, and my opponent would fall out of the super and I would die. And I could not do upper in the super because the character will fall out of the animation. So it took them a while to fix that. And once they fixed it, I started having a little bit more success. Now I could actually do the combo and actually win the round. I don't have to worry about nobody falling out of my super. So I'm excited to see where this journey takes me for the character. But yeah, that's it for season one. We know we're on wrap up here for year one. You got Capcom Cup going down this weekend for the finals. So yeah, the last chance qualifier finals is happening within the next hour or so. Yeah, about 2 hours here. We'll get that to find out which player is going into Capcom Cup as the 48th spot. But before we dive into the next topic, because we got two more on our plate before we wrap up the episode 10 here. So once again, if you guys are tuning in to the live broadcast, we do appreciate your support. If you're new to the channel, hit that follow button. Thank you so much. We do appreciate that. We're gonna keep trying to keep the energy going. We got plenty of more people who want to get on and talk with us, and we're excited to do that in our future endeavors. So. Uh, Right now, before I get into the next topic here, Retro, who do you think could be like the characters for season two? Or is it too soon? It's like a guess. It's just anything
No,
can happen.
I think. Mm, I mean, it's a good time to start speculating more. I'll say personally, we might see one new character and probably two third strike characters. If we're gonna go by the format of still 4 people per season, excuse me, I think we'll see two new characters, one new character, two from Third Strike, or the two Street Fighter 3 in general, rather. And I can see an alpha character, particularly now. Particularly, I could see. Hmm. 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 I could see maybe Makoto.
Ooh, that's a good
Um,
pick. That's a
Mako-
really good pick.
I'm also too thinking. I'm trying to think because I'm thinking about like the characters that you see in and also Avatar because also like in the world tour, they're the characters you're going to encounter and stuff, and they become your teacher and whatnot. And I'm trying to figure out like characters that kind of fit that type of scenario. I mean, any character can become your teacher in general. Like say become JP's student, whatever like that. But it'd be fitting for Makoto to like be like, hey, I'm teaching the karate school, whatever. You should become a student. That makes sense. And I think like Makoto being in the Street Fighter 6 setting would be very interesting. I wonder how her drive rush would be, because she's a very slow moving character too. I'm just curious about it. So that's one speculation. Um, Let me see. Should I could also see. Well, the way Ed kind of almost feel like it would debunk Dudley, but maybe not. But I think we might see.
Makoto, Makoto, and Dudley.
No. Hugo. I might see. I think we might see another grappler, a big player, a big character.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I definitely think we need another grappler in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Or no. Wait, Alex. Duh. That makes sense. Alex. I think Alex should be back. I think no, Alex. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I think we have a bigger. I think we have a grappler character that's still technically brawler in between, but another act more grappler type. I think Alex will be. Hugo might come back later. Who knows? Um, as far as the idea of a alpha character, I mean, you can go back to Kareen or Sakura or Cody.
Okay.
That's
He
my
is
guess.
somewhere. He is somewhere in Metro City.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
I mean, yeah, I mean, because Cody's the current mayor, as far as I know. Um, as well, yeah, as in Street Fighter Five, he's been the mayor. Um, New character, who? My guess it will be a successor of would be a no. You know what? It won't be a successor. It'll be a brand new character altogether. No ties to anyone, but I mean, of course, like to like relative. I don't know. It'll be a new character with an interesting gameplay and move set and fighting style. I'm banking on that because I think that someone unique might come through, and everybody be like,
Okay.
"Who's that?" And then if you play the story or word tour, they be like, "Oh snap!" So that's how you're involved, or you're like you're just here for this whatever reason. I think that that type of character gonna appear. I think we'll have that.
So we got Makoto, Alex, a brand new character, and you got one more. One more.
That's a Cody.
Cody. Okay. Makoto, Alex, brand new character, and Cody. That's not bad. That is not a bad. That's not a bad lineup. Simply because I feel like they could fit the theme of Street Fighter Six pretty well. Like you have Makoto, who could, like you said, she could arrive in Metro City just looking for a dojo or something, or looking to spread the news of her dojo, and she needs somebody to help teach her karate to people and stuff like that. Kind of like Dan in a way, but she's more solid. You have Alex. He could be in the city too as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the new character, and yeah. So yeah, your picks are pretty solid there. So if I had to choose a four, I would say like for season two, I would say Poison, simply because we're leaning on to the whole Metro City theme being like the central hub for everything. I think that'll be the character for that, and she only appears at night or something. See, I can see Poison. I would say Remy. Um, I would say Remy. He's long overdue to come back for sure, and he could be like a more unique take on what Gal already has too. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot you could do with him and his kit. So I could see that. I want to say Sean. I do want to say Sean. I would like to see Sean come back, but I don't know. I don't think Capcom's. I don't think they.
I
I think
won't
they
argue
like
it.
sticking him to like a joke character or something. I don't know.
No, I want. I think he might come back. I mean, this is the future where like Ken was training him, so I think Sean might try to like, check up on Ken lore wise, and that's like his involvement.
Yeah, that's true. Cause he like because he heard that Ken was like involved in some stuff, and maybe he's trying to find Ken to get answers and stuff. And he runs into his son, and his son be like, "Oh well, I haven't seen my dad," and Sean goes looks for him or something. I could see that happening. I would say I would like to see, like I think someone at Killjoy in the chat said one of the Neo Shadowloo members. Yes, we already had Falk. For
Mm-hmm.
five, I think the samurai guy would be a good pick. Two as well. I think he
I mean
would be.
Carlos.
Uh, no, no, no. There's like a ninja. Well, not a ninja, but like a samurai guy that's a
Oh,
part of Neo
oh yeah,
Shadowloo with
yeah,
the
yeah,
wolf.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I would like to see that person as a playable character, and then that kind of like would expand on the story of Neil Shadaloo. So I would like to see that, and then a new character. So I think those are my picks for my four there. So brand new character, no ties to anyone, like you said. I think that would be a good way to bring him into six. It could be a six debut character. Poison, the samurai from Neo Shadaloo, and who was the fourth one? Did I say Sean? I said Sean, right? Yeah, and I said Sean.
Yeah, I know you
Okay.
said also
All
Remy.
right. Yeah, Remy. Yeah, Remy. Yeah. So yeah, yep, those are my picks. But it could be a toss up. They could throw us a curveball and give us all new characters. Who knows? But I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening. They gotta bring back the classics. They gotta bring back the classics. That's how you keep it going. Um, but yeah, man. So all right, so we're gonna dive into I think we talked a bit about how Capcom Cup's gonna shape up. We did some Ed story, some lore there as well. So this might be a bit controversial here. Well, not really controversial, but I think this is a more serious topic that we kind of lingering around for quite a long time. But I don't think we ever had a chance to like really break it down. And I think now is a good time to kind of talk about this, and it would be about mental health. I think mental health is very, very important, especially in the FGC. Um, what brought about this discussion was that there have been some posts from players who have been going through situations where they were on the verge of committing suicide simply because of there's various reasons as to why that was taking place. But I think that's something that needs to be addressed, and it's very important. Stress is real. Stress, anxiety, there's just a lot of things that go on in people's lives that you don't see in person unless they tell you, unless they talk about it or discuss it. And I think we as males, we don't really express our feelings really. We don't talk about what goes on behind the door like that to other people because we kind of just keep it to ourselves and we deal with it, right? But I think as far as mental health goes, it's very important to try to discuss that with somebody who is at least willing to listen to you and offer their advice, because they could shed some light on what could be going on. And I think we keep things bottled up inside for so long, it could eventually spill over, And
Right.
I think that if your friends are really there for you and they're looking out for you, they should have no problem listening to what you got to say. But as far as mental health goes, again, a variety of different situations that can lead into that mental fortitude that you have as a person. You feel that you may not be as successful into doing something, or you may feel that you're not good enough to be doing this, that, or third, or you make a comparison to what other people, your other friends or someone else is doing, and you think that you
Hmm.
should be in that state, and depression hits you because you haven't accomplished that level of success as of yet. But there are a variety of different resources out there that can help you deal with that. So retro, I mean, I can give you a variety of different situations. Um,
Hmm.
there was a time where I went through a depressive phase where I just felt like I just wasn't good enough. I just felt like a complete failure and stuff like that. But
Right.
I eventually overcame that, and I said that, you know what, I am good enough. I am strong enough to do this, and I'm just gonna keep fighting until I can fight no more. I feel like I think we give up on ourselves as people. We can give up on ourselves as people a little too often. And again, if we can't tell nobody how we feel or we can't express ourselves to anyone, it just keeps bottled up inside. Like you can kind of tell when something's bothering somebody. Like if you're at an event and you're used to seeing this person smiling, or you're used to seeing this person act a certain way, and you notice a change in their behavior,
Hmm.
you can walk up to them and say, "Hey, what's going on, man? Everything okay?" You know, interactions like that can help a million times more than what a doctor or a shrink can do, because you feel like somebody's checking on you. You feel like somebody cares enough to ask how your day is going. There is hope, man. I think a lot of times people kind of do keep things bottled up inside until eventually it gets to a boiling point, and they just can't take it anymore. Um, and retro, man, let me ask you this before I start my story. How do you like? What are your thoughts on mental health in the FGC?
Yeah. This is from coming from being an actual current advocate and a current person who's going to therapy. Um, yeah, I looking at it now and how the FGC is functioning. I think that's the problem is that there's a lack of a service to help people with their mental health situations, and I think that maybe we should, well, and especially that if conventions or anything, have a vendor of a sort that's like kind of say, hey, if you want to help better your mental situations, here's some techniques, or here's someone you can call, or someone you can talk to, or something you can watch. I think something like that is very lacking, and unfortunately, I dealt with a lot of people on my own scene who suffered through a lot of mental health situations. Mainly, they would just like take a break from coming through and coming out and whatnot, and and that's probably fine. Um, I just wish that a lot of times that people who do that, people who go through mental health scenarios and depression and whatnot like that, they unfortunately don't try to seek help or try to, they think like, playing games and stuff is one way to, or being in the community still is, or keep engaging or keep being active is a way to resolve it. And unfortunately, when things don't go well and things go awry, it becomes where they behavior turns into what is maybe considered problematic, and they act in a way that's not erratic and so forth, and it becomes very concerning. And then it becomes where things may unfortunately escalate to a problem. So the thing is that lack of the service to reach out to people who are dealing with mental health, that really is a heavy blow to the community. And I think that's something that's very essentially needed to this very day. It's needed all over the world for sure, but I think within the FCC, it's definitely heavily needed. And I think with more of that help being like a service people provided, that would solve, well, at least resolve many issues and hopefully prevent many like problems that we have seen. Of course, on the course of Twitter, for example, you know accusations of these harassments, or this person is going off the deep end and claiming they're after me, or this is wrong, or I'm thinking this is the right way, and it's something that's harmful. So that's the problem that a lot of people don't really understand. Because they see the FCC as, hey, well, there's a group of people playing fighting games, and they just hang out and go to gaming stuff, and then that's it. But at the same time, there's more to that. Each person individually has a mental health that has a moment where it goes okay, and it does go okay, and everyone can be capable of not it going okay. So I think, like I said, checking on people is a good thing, if affordable and if possible. Try therapy. Try it may not be, if not medicine or whatnot, and then if you can afford medicine too, then that's perfectly fine. But like I said, I think it's important because if we are supposed to be a community, part of it is, I think we're not fully responsible for everyone's lives, but I think we should be aware and be alert about the type of everyone that's involved in the community, and check on them and whatnot. Because outside of it, personal life happens. Someone passed away that affects their mental health. They lost a job, they lost a home, whatever tragedy rather. So I think that in the FGC, you do see people post about their stories, and they post about their sufferings, and they may say, okay, hope you get better, and that's it. But I think where it should be a little more active to help resolve something. I mean, and also it may not be monetary action, but it will be like engaging with the person or addressing the person and say, hey, I see you have a problem. I see you having saying things that don't sound like that. That's not you. Are you okay? Do you want to sit down and talk about it? Do you want to go somewhere, or do you want could do something for you? I think that type of engagement should happen a little bit more. So.
And I fully agree. I mean, everyone's mental is definitely different, um, and how they deal with situations. It's a lot of determining factors that play into the part of someone being who they are in the scene. Right? You don't I mean, somebody could be commentating the event. Meanwhile, in the background, they have 1,000 things going on at once, and it kinda just was using the FGC as an outlet to try to, like, help them with therapy, and it can happen that way. They can playing fighting games can be a stress reliever, or they can induce stress. But, it's I think it's something that we as men, especially when you get older too as well, your environment is definitely going to change. Your family members um, who were once very healthy, very active, you notice that they may be slowing down, or they may start to develop health issues too as well that you are got to pay attention to now, and that's just something that could be a mental stack on top of something else that could be going on. You could be having a bad relationship. It could just be a lot, and it could get to a point where it's just too much to take, and you just feel overwhelmed, and you just don't know how to deal with it any longer. And I think as men, we don't really express ourselves like that. Oh, well, we just keep it as like a pride thing, and we just kind of just like, oh, it is what it is. We just deal with it and we keep going. But that's not the healthy route. That's not great. Um, that's something that definitely needs to be addressed, because it could clear your mind. You talking with someone can definitely help out tenfold, man. Especially your friends, yo. If your friends are willing to listen to you, talk about your situation with your friends, see what they think about it, see what they can offer. Sometimes just the simplest ear can make a whole entire difference, because again, you don't feel worthless. You don't feel like no one cares about you, and that you feel like somebody actually will take the time out to listen to what you got going on. And I think that's a big thing that in the FGC that is much needed. TOs, God bless
Woo.
the TOs. And I'll give you an example. Shin Blanca, his mother had passed away a few days before a final round event, and God forbid I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to do
Hmm.
it. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't even want to be around anybody in that situation. I don't know how I would react, but I know damn sure I wouldn't be able to run no tournament, you know, knowing that my mom passed away a few days before the event. And God bless that man for going through and dealing with something that heavy to be able to still run the event, still shake your hand, hey, how you doing? Talk to you and stuff, with all of that going on in the background. Like, how are you mentally that strong to deal with something such as that? And
Mm-hmm.
everybody is different. You know, some people, like Retro say, like, you may take medicine to deal with your situation. You may go to therapy to deal with your situation. And I'm just saying that we need to be more expressive and upfront about how we feel about situations, because it can help. It can help. Um, I know there was like a time where someone again, like, I noticed their behavior was just much different at the event. They just didn't want to talk to anybody. Normally you see them smiling and engaging and stuff like that, but they kind of just stood to the side and just was just very quiet. And you could kind of feel out the energy that something may be wrong. You reach out, you talk to them, and just be like, "Hey, what's going on?" And again, as men, we have that pride. We have that foolish pride where we don't want to just seem weak to somebody else. And I'm like, nah, that's not weak. I mean, you need to if you feel a certain way, you need to express that. Holding that in is not good. It is not good to hold that in, and if that person is your friend, if that person really truly, cares about you as a person, they're willing to listen. They're going to be willing to listen. Hey, what's going on? How do you feel? What's happening? Well, I lost my job. My girl left me. Someone broke into my house. I didn't have insurance. I got into a car accident. I didn't have insurance. Just there's so many different scenarios that can play into a factor. We don't know what everyone is going through. Like you could go to any tournament on this planet, and I guarantee you, there's
Yep.
going to be at least 2 or 3 people that are going through something. And they just go to the tournament just to play games and kind of like mine off of it for a while.
Right.
I guarantee you, that is something that's concrete, right? And we just try to stay mentally strong and just try to deal with it, you know. And again, that lending an ear to that and having somebody express how they feel, I tell you, it's gonna help. It's going to help. But again, it's up to us as people to try to um, message or try to reach out, try to see like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Like, what happened? And stuff like that. But that could be the world of difference. So I think that mental health could also affect performance in tournament too, like while you're playing.
Yep.
In the back of your mind, you just have all of this stuff you got to deal with as soon as you. So what ends up happening is that you try to leave all your baggage at the door when you walk into an event. But when the event is over, guess what happens? You got to pick that same bag up, and go right back home, and then deal with the situations. So again, tournaments can be a stress reliever, for sure, because you just want to be in an environment where people, like-minded individuals such as yourself, can sit down and enjoy the same game you play. And I think we just have to start being better at expressing ourselves. Like there's nothing wrong with it. Like nobody's gonna see you as weak because you say, you don't know how to you may not you may need advice on how to approach a situation. No one's gonna think you're weak for that. If anything, you're brave and you're courageous enough to share that information with somebody, you know? And if you think somebody's not gonna be willing to listen to you, that's not true. That's not true. There's always someone who can help you. You can reach out to people and they can talk to you. That's always an option. You can reach out to me. I'm at Mind of Shadows. You can message me your situation. You know what? I can give you feedback on what's going on. Retro, probably the same thing, right? Retro, you could probably talk to Retro. Retro will probably more than happy to, speak with you. So, we are people that we do care. Because if think about it like this, if we didn't care, we wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't even be doing
Facts.
the
Facts.
podcast. We wouldn't be
Facts.
trying to reach. Yeah, we wouldn't be trying to reach out to people. We wouldn't be setting up tournaments. We wouldn't be even dealing with the FGC if we didn't care about what's going on in our environment. At the end of the day, the TOs, they have to be people. They have to be people persons. They have to interact with
Yes.
people. They gotta
Good
shake. They
lord.
gotta shake hands. They got to, hey, who are you? How you doing? They got to check on people. That's what being a really great TO, that's what they do. They have to be involved into the community. They got to interact. So my advice there on mental health is if you have a friend that's willing to listen to you or you can try to reach out to somebody and see if they can reach out and, talk to you about it, please do so. Please do so. Retro, what you think? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. For those who are going through that, like I said, definitely reach out for someone. And like I said, and I know it may not be easy access to medicine or therapy and stuff, but I think definitely reach out to someone who can, and that can definitely can help you with your or help resolve your situation. I mean, there is much as there's always someone that's going through stuff. There will always be someone that will be willing to help people who are going through stuff. So for sure. So definitely don't think that you're alone in your struggles, and that you know is you're not enough. or you're never enough. You are worth, and you are enough. More than enough. You're more than what you value yourself. So I definitely will say that to encourage those who are going through those hard times. So I wanted y'all guys to know that from the bottom of my heart. As someone who is currently going through therapy himself, after for almost 4 years now, no more than 4 years. Yes, more than 4 years. Definitely, if it wasn't for that, like I said, I probably would have been involved in the FGC that much longer, and I definitely would be, either almost a recluse. But the thing is that thanks to many people in the FGC that are very caring, shout out to Shadow Ace and shout out to many others in the scene all over the country and the world that cares. And shout out to, of course, my own local people here that look out for me, and shout out that for I managed to have a way to get therapy, you know. But of course, like I said, running events, and like I said, this week was a rough one because I was running through a lot. Uh, I mean, it was a mental strain, and it took a lot. It took where people's appreciation, some appreciation at least, for what I try to do to help provide space and events for people that want to get involved and whatnot. That encouraged me to keep going. But like I said, it took a lot out of me, so I have to take a little bit of a break. But I know like soon I'll be going to a watch party with the homies, and I know it'll be a good fun time. That's something that's real be relieving, and not hurt me worry about duties, TODs for the time being. But of course, like I said, hopefully you understand that this is what TOs have to go through on a almost a daily basis. To plan these stuff for y'all guys. Y'all, you guys request and demand it, and you got to have to, and you have to be like, okay, well, this person might be having a long day or a long week or whatever. Let me not try and bombard this person. All these requests and ideas and demands and so it'd be like, hey, you've been kind of quiet. I know you didn't respond much. Hope you're doing okay. Anything I could do to help would be very ease, burden, relieving from for TO. So I like you guys to challenge. I challenge you guys to try that on occasion, to all the TOs if possible, and be a start for me within the FGC to challenge people to do so, to reach out to others. So yeah.
Hmm. That's that shows a lot, man. That shows a lot. That shows that someone cares, man. Because you go to an event, some TOs they just maybe off to the side worrying about production, or they won't even look at you or engage with you. But the ones that do, that talk to you, say, "Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming and how's it going and stuff." The ones that actually do that, those are the ones that are gonna last long because they care about the people that are coming to their event. They appreciate the people that are coming to their event. The ones that don't interact or don't really socialize that much, nah. Nah, that's all I can really say, man. I mean, it goes a long way, man. That's just like customer service, right? Like you go anywhere, a restaurant or something.
Yep.
If your waiter doesn't even look at you or make eye contact with you, you kind of question the service at the restaurant, the establishment that you're at. Like, dang, the waiter didn't even ask, they didn't even look at me or, acknowledge me, no smile or nothing. What you want? How can I help you? What do you want to order? Huh? Oh, we don't got that. I'm telling you, it's like customer service. If your customer service is not great as a TO, I guarantee that your event may not last too long, my G. So regardless, though, man, definitely do. I do appreciate the TOs that do take their time out to talk with people. I do appreciate the FBC people who do take their time out to reach out and talk to people, see how things are going, that nature. And then again, if you notice some abnormal behavior in somebody in your scene, and you know that they're normally not like this, or they something just seems off, and go and talk to them. I want to talk to him, man. I would rather have somebody, reach out than to just sit there and just stare at you the whole time, and or don't say anything. But I mean, those are the people that care, man. That's all I can really say. in regards to mental health. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed that panel there, man. We were just kind of speaking from the experience because we have been in these situations where there may have been something that could have been bothering us, but we still try to persevere through it. Just know that, you're not alone. You're not alone, man. People out here for you. They're out here. But yeah, that was our statement on mental health. So going to dive into this last topic before we wrap it up for today here. And before our announcements, so Retro, this you did last couple of weeks, you did your online tournament event. So like how was your experience running your weekly online event since you started a few weeks ago?
Ooh, so starting back after probably I might say almost 2 years. I would say at least 2 years. Um, it's it's not bad. It wasn't too bad. I was putting this here for fun's sake. It, it was weird. I'm used to it. And I think part of it because thankfully I did like attend many online events to see how things run, and I kind of emulated a few things that were worked well for many others. Shout outs to TNS, Temple Never Sleeps, the Yipes, Casa House, Clash, a few other online tournaments. Shout outs Sloppy Time. Shout out to y'all guys' events going well, and thanks for the Kalamazoo FTC as well. Thanks for the experience. So I'll try to get back to it because part of it is now we are growing as a community within our own scene in Middle Georgia, and it's overwhelming. I will definitely say that it's where figuring out what to figure out the limits of where we are, and figuring out how to how to operate things, and now I'm having a new group of people I'm training to help run tournaments, and that experience, I love teaching, and I love like giving them chances like homeworks and whatnot. So it's personally it been okay. It's been fun. I mean, to me, running online tournaments is really not much of a big thing, not much of an issue for me. I think the big thing that mainly need to work more is the communication, and looking at our scene, and have to understand like how many are willing to support what they demand and request it. And then if it'd be weird to having like tournaments where players want to have a reboot tournament, but then all the players that's in the tournament end up being from out of the country or places that are not Middle Georgia or part of reboot at all, which is sometimes weird. Um, but gathering from that experience, the times where things, also the big one too, but of course everyone figuring out, about the check-ins and communicating. But now the funny thing about it, for many games, it's the to invite people to match the system. That lobby system, there we go. The lobby system is really interesting. That's a puzzle in itself because some games don't let you easily add people to your lobby straightforward. It's like a crazy process. You have to go through this way, meet up them literally here, add this X, Y, and Z to this, and boom, you finally got their stuff. You find your friends or whatever. You can finally invite to a lobby and resume match, and that takes up a lot of time, unfortunately. And I'm glad I was not the only one that struggled with it. And TNS had an issue of like inviting people to lobbies and so forth. So the game itself not having a easy route to that type of situation can also be a hindering and daunting fact to try to do online tournaments. But of course, when things go well and smooth, is great. It's fine. And I'm grateful for those who are involved to help play the matches. And I have gotten people that come back as a result, and they understood that things that we had some mishaps, but they understood, and some were their first timers and they're outside our area, and they just like, hey, I just want to see what it's all about. I want to just give it a shot. I'm new to this, and I'm new to playing the game. I'm trying to learn the game, and blah blah blah. So it worked. I said the good of it. The cons of it was like, well, not the cons. The bad side of it was, yeah, the communication was not stable, and some of the lobby system situation not stable, and of course, trying to get everyone to matches, whatnot, that wasn't stable. But the good out of it, when it works, when it goes smooth, people enjoy the matches. They report. They would play. They would just would like to play regardless. Even if they had not much money in the match arena. And at the end they're like, yo, I appreciate it. You for um, I appreciate you for having this. Let me know the next one. We'll come back, or hey, well, if you need some help, I can do this and so forth. And the guys who are learning with me to how to run tournaments, they're like, okay, well, you know what, this is not as bad as I thought. I definitely want to do more of this, and I want to focus on more of this. At one point, I had one of our guys to end up streaming one of the tournaments, and they were nervous about it. They got to understand what it was like, how chaotic it could be. So I'm glad that and like I said, the good end, we have people that now getting that experience of what I deal with as a TO, and understanding more as how things will run. And then there's the offers to make it better, to help make it better.
Yeah. So yeah, look, as far as you mentioned, you're getting new players, and several veterans of fighting games are in your Discord now. Well, they're making Discord. So there's the room for the growth and development, and it's really good experience for the commentators too of your scene to let them try their hand into it. I was really impressed that people were willing to commentate the event, and that helps out tremendously. That's just perfect practice for something like this. So that way, when the offline events happen, it's just second nature for them, and that's how you build like a repertoire of just you getting better over time. And then each event, I would say like one of the best things you could do, just advice wise, would be just to take something that you may seem or that may have gone wrong in each event. You work on that thing just gets better and better and better. Commentary, players, player organization, time starts, bracket organization, seeding. Once you start getting your regular players, you could kind of seed them according to their placements from previous events and just go from there. And it's just all a part of the process. And then eventually, boom, you have a fine-tuned machine ready to go. So, man, I'm just curious how your event, because you did different games on different days. So I wonder if that wasn't, if it was too much or how did you feel about it? But yeah, you pretty much broke it down there. Um, so yeah, we're going to looks like move on because again we have it is LCQ day and a lot of people want to view that top 16 and get that last qualifier. I know people are
It's
doing
like
event
it's like
parties.
the mini Super Bowl for the
Uh,
Super Bowl.
Right, so they, we don't want to keep people too long here, but we do want to thank everyone who has tuned in to the live broadcast. We definitely do appreciate that support. And if you're listening to the rebroadcast, thank you for taking the time to listen to that too as well. So we hope you enjoyed that episode 10. This is kind of like the Capcom Cup edition. I guess that can be the title of it. The Capcom Cup edition of the I Got Next podcast. So
Part
we'll
one.
see what happens next week, man. Next weekend somebody's gonna be $1 million richer. So we get to see that exciting journey come to a close for year one of Street Fighter Six. And of course, they did say that there wouldn't be any trailers or any new content, but they did say
Mm-hmm.
that there would be some esports stuff. So maybe next year he's like, oh, year one we had 1 million. Well, guess what's gonna happen? Year two, it's going to be $2 million.
Oh
Something like
no.
that.
Ooh boy.
Yeah, that kind of gets everybody to go crazy, even crazier. And yeah, but once again, definitely do appreciate you guys for tuning in and supporting the channel. We appreciate that. Stay tuned for details on the next event as well. And speaking of events, retro, do we have our ads ready?
Yes, we do. And we're going to have ours already showed up for the entire month of February. As you can see there, I'm going to stop this right quick. So, as you can see there, we have our entire calendar of events with the details in there. So you can see the locations, you can see the games, what time they start, online or in person, all the other stuff. Definitely. That's I made it easy for myself just to make that, so I don't have to go through like 500 posters. However, in particular though, we would like to move on to the next part. So we are going to have one impromptu watch party today at the reboot, but for the top 16 finals for the finals, we're going to definitely have a watch party there, and of course, I'm sure there'll be watch parties and everywhere else in the country and not the world for the Capcom Cup. So if y'all guys in the Middle Georgia area, yeah, today I'll be actually be heading there very soon. So y'all guys are tuning in right now, or if this is a rebroadcast, and you do get a chance for you to see this happen, for next Sunday, then miss this Sunday. But that's it for me. On well, no, not it for me, but definitely check that out. Of course, all of our big tournaments are done. This is the tournament for us for Middle Georgia, the Cherry Blossom Isekai Festival, Cherry Blossom Festival Isekai Season 2. We are going to have the finals for ours. We are doing our own little circuit. I'm going to have it at the Sports Hall of Fame March 16th through the 17th, and that's going to start at 12. Definitely going to have all the main games: the Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Tekken, and Smash for $300 pot for each game for the finals, and then we'll have a last chance qualifier similar to Capcom Cup, where you get the 16th spot and 16 players, top 16 will play out. So we kind of had a little inspiration from there. But ours had it by points, so that's where we had top 15 by points. And of course, that you'll have that. We'll have stuff for those players. But not only that, Georgia is going to be very busy because we're going to have something probably even bigger than this. And I believe Shadow Ace will have a lot more details to explain to you from here.
All right, and there it is on your screen right there. Max Mode going down next month. We are just a few weeks away from one of our biggest premier events here in Atlanta, Georgia. This isn't the a successor, the final round. This is its own event called Max Mode, a culmination of different surrounding FGC vendors and supporters for making this event happen. Here, funded here by the Data FGC group. Very excited to be a part of that experience too. I can't wait to see people I haven't seen in years, decades almost even. They say that they'll come to the event. I say, wow, I haven't seen that person in over 10 years. I wonder what's going on with them. But that I can't wait for that event for sure, man. You see the variety of different games that are going to be. Those are the main games. Those are the main games that will be featured there below. But there are also will be community side ran tournaments too as well. Details are being finalized for that. Uh, so once again, want to try to get everybody out in the southeast to head on over to Max Mode because it's going down in Atlanta, Georgia, March 22nd through the 24th. So for full information, you can go to uh, Twitter, X.com, Data FGC. They have the registration page there with additional information as far as links to sign up for the event. Please do so because I think registration is going to go up here in about a day or so from the standard rate. So of course it gets more expensive closer you get to the event if people didn't decide to sign up earlier. But there, yep, but Max Mode is going down quite soon, and I cannot wait to see the homies. So there it is.
All right. Like I said, there you have it, y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And that's all the announcements. And like I said, we'll have this episode edited and prepared hopefully by tomorrow for the on the YouTube version of Reboot Retrocade Gaming, which we have archived everything else. And there's a playlist currently, and if you do the command exclamation point podcast, you'll see it'll give you the link right here in the Twitch chat. Thank you for guys for tuning in. I'll get my quick shout out before I get ready to head out because I get the food and stuff for in a few minutes. But shout outs to the Mills Georgia FGC. I'll see you guys soon tonight in a few 30 minutes or so. Shout outs to Shadow Ace for definitely putting this together and getting me on board to make a series that now is lasted longer than many TV shows at this point. So shout out to you for that. Also, no, I said shout out to FGC as a whole for helping me to become who I am as a person and still give me the motivation to maintain my role as a TL and more within the scene. Hopefully, you'll see more of me to be active and do more stuff in a bigger scale. Just as much as you do, the Shadows will be doing a lot of stuff on a bigger scale. So I'm excited for what is to come for the Georgia FGC in particular, but then also the FGC as a whole. So shout out to all y'all. Thank you guys so much. And of course, you find me on Sir Retro 08 on Twitter, Instagram. Of course, you guys are watching it on my Twitch, Sir Retro 08, and then also on YouTube as well, Sir Retro 08. Where the good people can find you, my guy, Shadow Ace.
Check me out on Twitter's x.com at Mind of Shadow Ace. There again, if you want to reach out and talk about some things, feel free to do so. More than happy to listen and give feedback on what is what. We talked about mental health in this podcast, and I think we're going to touch it up on a future episode too as well because I think this definitely needs a part two for it, just to hear the thoughts and opinions from other people in the scene. Um, and yeah, we do thank your support. You can catch me here. I'll also post up other events that I'm doing too as well on that Twitter page. But that's my main source of contact there. But GG's, shout outs to everybody that's been tuning in. We got some last chance qualifier action to catch up on and watch here. So Retro say he's gonna go pick up his items and meet up with the crew, and I'm going to get ready to do my event too as well. So busy Sunday for us. So we do appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much tuning in. You guys be safe. Take care. Peace.
So the Capcom Cup Fighters is not up yet, obviously, but we'll have it. It'll be ready soon. So what I'll do, I'll send you over to some homies. Oh, El Chacate. He is grinding the Street Fighter or another game, and he is going to be watching the Capcom Cup. So if you guys are at home just chilling, and you guys can't make it to any watch parties, join my boy El Chacate, and he'll entertain you with some good gaming and streaming. So y'all take it easy. Y'all have a great day. And yeah, deuces.